Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming down. We really appreciate you taking interest in some of these coffees. We're going to take you through basically each one of these coffees and what we like about them, and hopefully you enjoy them tonight as well.
There are 7 coffees for you to try tonight, and every single one of them is a viable option for the WBC. So we love the fact that you get to taste it as well, because you'll have an idea of what Jack finally does serve on stage. So when you do jump online and watch and you finally hear the coffee that we've chosen, you just feel a little bit more connected to the competition. Cool, well the coffees are getting cold, so let's get started, and we will cup coffee number 1, which is going to be Finca Deborah Nirvana from Jamison Savage. So Jack, you're very connected to this coffee. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this is the same coffee that I used last year at the WBC. Beautiful coffee. I used it for nationals this year as well. It's a different harvest to the one that I used at the WBC last year, but very similar. Jamison's a wizard when it comes to processing, so he can replicate a lot of these processes over and over again. I get a lot of dark fruits like blackberry, blood orange, those sort of things.
It is a Panama-Geisha, so you do have that florality in there, but what I think we loved about Jamison's coffees when we were visiting was the texture in particular. When we do talk about water affecting the espresso, texture and body is a big thing, so the lighter, more delicate ones tend to get knocked around. This one tends to hold true, so not your traditional delicate geisha, but still showing all those beautiful elements of Panama that we know and love, and a very unique process as well. Carbonic macerated, nitrogen flushed, so nitrogen gas used in this one, which is a little different to the other 2 that are going to be on the table. So jumping to cup number 2, this is Finca Deborah as well, but this is ether. So ether is a little bit different. It is a argon macerated, washed finish. So starting as a natural, argon macerated in the tanks, and then finishing as a washed.
For me, I find it makes the coffee a little bit more delicate. Nitrogen, I'm finding we get a lot more body compared to CO2. But yeah, again, going to argon, it's a lot more delicate, and we get a lot more florals.
I think this coffee is beautiful. Washed Panama geishas are very delicate, and as we were talking about the water before, tend to get really heavily influenced by the competition water, which creates a very narrow extraction window. So considering one of the biggest things for the barista competition is accuracy of flavor notes, when that tends to change from extraction to extraction, it does make it a bit more of a risk, considering they're beautiful coffees, we love them, but we're trying to score as highly as we can.
For example, the water in Melbourne is typically around 30 parts per million. For WBC, we're looking at around 150 parts per million. So those delicate coffees that taste beautiful in Melbourne, once we get these waters that are a little bit more intense, they're a little more difficult to work with these delicate floral coffees.
The third and final coffee from Finca Deborah is called Limitless. So this is also an argon maceration, but a natural finish, so kind of the brother-sister of ether. I quite like this coffee, personally. It's very similar to Nirvana, but much more delicate fruit. So instead of these like sort of heavier sort of pineapple and sticky fruits, it's a bit cleaner, it's a bit lighter, it's a bit more delicate. I kind of feel like it's a washed natural in a way. So I really enjoy this coffee. Jack, what are your thoughts?
They do share some similarities, especially in texture and body. That's what I love about Jamison's coffees. I think it sits in between the ether and Nirvana. Still, a really good option for Worlds this year. Probably leaning towards the other 2, just because I think they're a bit more distinct. One's sort of more of a wash profile, one's more of a natural, where the Limitless is in the middle. But then again, once we get over there and we taste it in the water, I still don't know.
So then we jump to a very different coffee. This is the first one from the second producer we're working with here from Finca Zaza. So this is a washed Pakmara, which we could use for milk, or we could use for espresso. So it's a little bit different to the other coffees from Zaza on the table. I get a lot of strawberry, hints of coconut. Yeah, it's not so intense and heavy that it would make a very, very overwhelming espresso for me. So I quite like it as an option.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a really soft spot for this coffee. Obviously, all the coffees from Zaza are very interesting for a wash coffee.
Yeah, definitely one of the new unique profiles we see coming out of Colombia over the last few years. Now, again, brother-sister sort of coffee, we have Zaza Natural. So you have used this coffee, you used it last year in the Worlds?
Yes.
As well, and for Nationals as well.
Correct.
So I'm going to let Jack do all the talking on this one, because he's very, very close to it.
Yeah, yeah, love this coffee. Yeah, hopefully tonight you guys love it as well. Cuts through milk really well. We get a lot of cherries, sweet maraschino cherry, and a lot of malted chocolate. Little hints of coconut in there as well, but just very complex. And I use a process called cryodesiccation with the milk. I need a big coffee that's going to be able to cut through that rich and creamy milk as well.
Competition is trending towards something that's a little bit more delicate, obviously very articulate. So you'd be definitely flipping a coin serving coffees like this. You never know what the judges are potentially looking for, and that if it's the kind of coffee that you only want to drink one of and you don't want another one, that like it's just so intense, it might not be the best choice for espresso. So if anyone out there is thinking, sometimes that intensity is good, but it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah,
as well.
I think it does polarize some judges as well. Are they looking for something clean this year? Are they looking for something that's, yeah, the big anaerobic coffees, it's hard to predict, and I guess we take a chance with whatever we serve.
The big thing I also think we think about when we're choosing competition coffees is sweetness, and I would say one of the sweetest coffees on the table is the one coming up next. It's our first time trying this one, so it's Zaza, Finca Zaza again, but this is Papayo. So this is a new variety that they have at Finca Zaza. It's, as I said, our first time trying it, so I hope you all enjoy it. But Jack, what are your thoughts on this coffee?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, it's just got a lot of fruit, a lot of those cherry notes again. It's a little bit more punchy than I think the Pacamara. We actually saw the Papayo trees, so they were quite small, so it was cool to, see that Jonathan pulled up these, I think it was Catimore that he had there, pulled those trees up and he's planted the Papayo. Yeah, this is his first harvest of it, and obviously it's gone really well.
I think this is a coffee that could be good for espresso, but again, that intensity we're going to see happen. But speaking of intensity, the last coffee. So this is a third farm. This one is a backup because it's, as you're going to taste, it's super intense, it's super crazy. So that's why we're going to bring it just in case the water really stumps us, and that is the Sudan Rumé from Jose Lasso. So very good friends of Jonathan from Finca Zaza. But yeah, very intense coffee. Jack, what notes do you get out of this one?
A lot of Turkish delight. It's pretty wild. Like, there's some yellow fruits going on there as well. Like, it's a big coffee. I think as soon as you put it in your mouth, it's like, wow. It's just interesting and unique. I haven't really tried much like this coffee. It does have a lot of acid, but once that goes with milk, I find it just balances really well.
Definitely will blow the judge's head off. So this is one of those coffees we probably wouldn't consider for espresso because it is just wild. But that's taking you through some of our thoughts process into selecting coffees. Now, there is never a wrong coffee or a right coffee. It's just, what you choose to serve and what best represents you. Any final notes you want to say?
Yeah, I think for us as well, obviously we want to serve the best coffee we can on stage, but I think I can speak on behalf of Matt as well when I say this, that the coffee that we're choosing, we want to connect with it, and we've got a huge connection with Jonathan and Jamison. Yeah, hence why we've chosen these farmers, and we want to work with them again because we've got a very big soft spot for them, and they're doing amazing work, and we want to showcase that.
Thank you all for coming. We don't want to hold you up any longer. The coffees are probably getting cold.
Thank you for coming along and showing some interest as well, so thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.